Next budget meeting, 6 o'clock, June 3rd. And I think we're going to have Miss Sammy. She's going to take minutes for us again. She's kindly stepped up to do that for tonight. And I'll have her call the roll if she would. Got the mayor ready? No pay. We got to have somebody. Huh? Unless you want to have
Willie Campbell.
Here.
Patty Woodby.
Here.
Ronnie Trivett.
Here.
Isaiah Grindstaff.
Here.
Ross Garland.
Here.
Travis Hill.
Here.
Aaron Frazier.
Here.
Kelly Collins.
All here. Quorum is present. Thank you, Ms. Savvy. Number 2, to adopt the agenda. Here's motion. I'll second. Motion by Mr. Frazier, second by Mr. Grindstaff. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Public comments. Number 3. Anybody like to speak? Public comment section. So, all right, move on. Old business. Anything at old business? Seeing none. Moving on to new business and the main matter. The vote on the 1920 revised budget submitted by planning office. I'm sure everybody's had a chance to look over that. Of course, you got both side by side revised and the original proposed. Open up the floor to approve. We can talk about it. I think we got a little time. It's being only a matter at hand.
Just a matter of accepting or not accepting it.
Basically, yes or no.
What you say?
It's, of course, yeah, and that was the same way the last time when we were trying to get around the changing salaries or whatever, certain lines. It's either yes, we vote for it, or no, we vote against it. There's no changing anything
You
around.
have made a motion.
Nobody's made a motion.
Oh, okay.
I'll make the motion to accept it.
Motion on the floor by Ms. Collins. Here's second to approve.
Repeat the motion.
Motion just to approve the acceptance, the revised budget.
No.
Presented. Your second. With that, I'll step down. I'll let Isaiah turn it over to him real quick.
All right. I've got a motion on the floor to accept the budget as presented by the planning office. It failed for lack of second.
Well, I'll give the second, is what I would like to do.
So I've got a second by Ross Garland. Any discussion?
Yeah, there it is. I was hoping we could get past some representation. Chris, you might as well just stand up if you want to, just come on up if you'd like to address the committee. We've motion on the floor by Ms. Collins. I stepped in to provide a second on this. That we've got a motion to approve the revised budget that you presented. We got questions for Chris. Anybody like to address any matter on that? The questions I did have myself were the changing line items on, I guess, well, of course, advertising, it went, completely went away with it, the maintenance agreement, and the remittance agreement of collected permits. Is that, how do we go from 60,000 to zeros? That's kind of my question.
Where are you at?
The non-payroll on the proposed budgets, you have 51720, line 425, or no, 35847 is revised at 0, was proposed at 578. That's kind of the questions I had.
It's down here at 599, next 47.
That's electrical permits, that's $33,600 that we maintain and we don't touch, it's in our budget. That is a rotation of money from the state of Tennessee that rotates through the trustee's office and then back to Carter County. We had 52,495 was actual 1718. that rotated through. That's money that we made on top of the additional monies that we sent back. And what was your other one, Russ?
Well, just the, let's see, maintenance agreement, 334, right there, it was at 85 and now it's at 0. Those are questions for me that I have.
Those maintenance agreements.
Just a correction of line or something like that.
Yes, that's a lot of corrections, yes, sir.
They were incorrect one to begin with, 358, 47. And the number there for 358, 47, 57, 8, that is balanced out estimated revenue, almost the same amount. So, you know, if you go with a lower figure, it might decrease the revenue there too, be overstated.
All right. Got a motion on the floor, second.
Yeah, we got it. So, I mean, we're talking about it. I mean, is any further discussion, questions for Chris, or that you'd like to address? Now's the time. If not, we'll call for the vote, please, Ms. Fry.
Willie Campbell,
Nope.
Patty Woodby,
No.
Ronnie Trivet,
No.
Isaiah Grindstaff,
No.
Ross Garland,
Aye.
Travis Hill,
No.
Aaron Frazier,
No.
Kelly Collins.
Yes.
Motion failed 2-6.
All right.
Chairman,
Yes, sir.
as noted in the planning commission document that you received from Chairman Jerry Pierman, I would suggest that you set aside monies tonight in the budget. Hopefully will be approved by the commission in July, after we have our workshop June the 13th, for both a project manager for Carter County. We have approximately 16 projects now in the works, and unless Commissioner Grindstaff would like to take the courthouse security project back and thereby reduce it to 15, I think you need to have somebody to oversee those projects. Secondly, you also need to provide monies for an economic development agent. And no, sir, Commissioner Hill is appropriate to put it back in the mayor's office. Thank you, Chair.
Yes, sir. I did fail to mention that, of course, everybody had a chance to look over that, the letter that was provided by Chairman Kiernan. It does say, you know, without this past budget or the revised budget, you know, services could be cut. I'm curious to, you know, to kind of hear the committee's thoughts on, you know, what way we want to move forward on this. You know, it wasn't really a compromise as far as the original budget didn't come down any less or anything like that, just some numbers moved around, so I don't know. You know, we're talking about placing this stuff in his office, added responsibilities, economic development, which we're trying to do in his office. And, you know, certainly something that needs some oversight, some supervision, and then provided that. I don't know who plans to do that, or where we want to cut funding for an important matter as that. So just curious if anybody has any thoughts or comments that they would like to make.
Well, without doing that, I make, you know, I'm gonna put this in form of motion. Why not set everybody else's budget and send his back to the state and let them set it?
Well, if that's possible, I don't know for sure.
It's legal.
Which, you know, I'm sure they could. I'd say the state may take a look at kind of how we are paying their salaries and compare those, you know, to a full-time planner or full-time economic development person, and it may be a lot worse than what they provided for us. So,
The only issue with that is, I mean, he is a full-time, of course, planning director. That's his ultimate responsibility, but he can't also be a full-time economic development person, a full-time project manager, or anything of that nature. I don't think anybody sitting at this table denies that their department is underfunded in ways, that he's not making as much money as what he should be making, that none of his employees are making the money that they should be making. However, you know, if, you know, we want to sit down and we want to take one department at a time and go through and give everybody what they should be making, I'm all for that. But there'll be tax revenues for that. I just can't see doing what, $20,000 pay increase? I've lost about Okay. In one bump. If they want to split that into, into thirds, or they want to split that, I'm not going to go back for the half, but I just cannot see that all at one time, especially with his duties being split as it is. And I know that there's not enough employees in that department. That was a concern that whenever we initially made the vote as a full commission to assign these duties that I brought up. But at that time, he did agree to take those duties without any increases in pay or whatever, with the caveat that if it goes back to planning commission, they make they make their determination. But
You're gonna have to set up the qualifications of the project manager and how much they're qualified to do this stuff.
same thing for economic development.
Right. So it's down the road, we gotta do all that.
Well,
Well, we need
it's
to
going to
be
be
sooner than later.
it's going to be a this year to next year contract.
Because had he not done it at the animal shelter, we would be paying a lot more than we'll be paying now.
Did they get the air conditioner fixed down there?
As far as I know, they're still,
Still working on it, Chris, can you provide anything?
Carbon filters will be here tomorrow. Waiting on that, and then we have one, regulator has to be placed on it, and 2 more fire alarms that the building didn't have, that has to be on there, and, that'll be squirrel. It's already heating or cooling at least better than it ever was.
Is the city paying their half on it?
I don't know, I'm using what money that we had from the burnout, the compressor valves, right now. I think I'm down, I got like 13 grand left in that, so it's not costing anybody but the county and city. That's the insurance money that came back from the, compressor that exploded.
Did you check with the contractor that put it in?
No need to, Ronnie, it's been over 3 years.
Is that the limit on it?
No, 1 year construction on commercial is the max. Plus, former mayor had already signed off on it.
How about this, Chris, was there any discussion that, when this budget was revised at the planning meeting, any talk of what would happen if this wasn't passed? Y'all discuss that, or?
We kind of hoped this here that, we moved forward, we didn't send us with any, stipulations, guidelines to go back. I'll take it back to form, I've got 10 days, and I'll bring it back to you.
Bob McGregor, Chairman, we were talking about sending recommendations back to Don shot down from the crow's nest over here. Is it yes or no?
Well, let's keep this matter not make it personal for anybody. This is well-being of the county, so I understand that. But it's in a tough spot as far as the timeline goes on the public hearing that will be coming up on June 10th, I think. Is that what you said? or-
It's the 13th.
13th, that's regular meeting, right?
That'll be the same day.
No, the 13th is the
Workshop.
workshop.
Yeah.
The June 10th.
No, the 10th is the regular meeting, 13th.
13th, the full commission workshop.
Well,
And the 10th was also advertised as the public hearing date for the full budget.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Mayor, sir.
could y'all would give me some feedback of where you want us to go with this economic development, where you want, I need some feedback, what we need to do with it, because it's very important to have it, and, me personally, I don't think it should be in the mayor's office, but, you gotta make that decision. But I thought maybe whoever does it or whatever, maybe some kind of incentive. You get paid for what you do. If you don't do nothing, you don't get paid. Or I think my wheels are spinning. What do we do, you know, to whoever does it? If they do something, pay them. If they don't, you know, I'm not sure, you know. I just want some feedback because, like Jacob said, we got a lot of stuff going right now. And we just need to, whoever does it, we need to keep it going. So if I could have feedback, I appreciate it.
How would you pay if they didn't come through? There's a lot of things that may happen and not happen. I don't understand how you would, they'll still be doing the work. Even if something didn't happen.
Well, I don't know, like I say, it's just something that hit me.
I mean, I'm.
Just an option.
But, you know, I don't know how you come up with some type of scale or whatever, or I'm not sure how.
I mean, that's what.
I mean, I think that would be very difficult. I mean, that'd be like somebody not paying their speeding tickets and not showing up for court, talking secretaries or something, if they didn't come in. It really wouldn't be fair, because they could still be working.
The only way you can is to set up a salary and you have to do some sort of bonus or something of that. You know, you bring in a job, you bring in 20 jobs, 30 jobs, you come here, whatever. That'd be.
Percentage cut, or something like that, or contract.
I mean, like I said, that gets into the, okay, well, somebody comes right to specifics.
That the previous, mayor's office, they took full responsibility for that, and, didn't really try to share that with anyone. I don't think you guys doesn't sound like you would want to be in that position to accept all of that responsibility, right? I know, and she's got extra phones, prepared packets, things like that, got plenty of just daily routine into spending hours upon hours writing grants or, searching for grants, things like that, recruiting business, that. I think Chris, he's done a fantastic job so far for us, pretty much real to snap on real damage for us. I think it's, people's skills are most of the time pretty good as far as getting along with potential, businesses, people coming in, leaders, things like that. Notice the county is good as anybody. I mean, Chris, if you would accept this position if it was to ultimately fall in your office.
Well, that was brought forward and the agreement was made for the chairman and the county mayor to do that. And of course, it was voted on by you all in full county court for compensation. It didn't say what, but they would agree on the compensation. And what we did, we took it was it 27.5 less or 27.50 less per year? Yeah, so after we did the analysis on it, so it's whatever you guys want. I mean,
the 27.50 less is the number that's less than this, would be more than the salary you're making, would be appropriate. Hanging on.
Right, that was less. I gave a good round number for you guys to work with. But hey, it's probably up to you guys.
Well, it is up to us, but we've kind of hit this stalemate where, we want the services, but we don't want to
I'm
provide.
still doing EDC. We've got a meeting Wednesday with more than potential client. That everybody told me there wasn't no buildings here in Carter County. It was a funny thing, I found two that will just about match what we need. So, hey, it is what it is, guys. Whatever y'all want to do.
Well, I think we want you to work up another budget. I don't know if, like I said, it wasn't too much compromise as far as saying, hey, let's work some things out or, come back higher and probably, it's a little unexpected, but I can see what you're trying to accomplish. There's nothing else to move on to, Ron. That's really all we got, so there's no reason to leave anything on the table while we're here. Set a record for the quickest meeting we've had, looking to do that, but,
Ronnie, do you have any suggestions of what to do?
Well, if we're going to hire a project manager, I think we need to advertise it in the paper And go
First, we
through
need to
it.
decide how much it's going to pay and
Well, let's,
an actual job description.
you gotta go with the qualifications when they put their application in for the project manager. And,
No, you need a job description first.
Yeah.
Can't just, I mean,
Well, it's easy to pull the job descriptions from the state and stuff like that. So we can get the job description and stuff like that just for the project manager. So. I mean, ultimately, I think what needs to happen is there does need to be, we do need to have an economic development director in the county. I believe that.
with a job description.
And I mean, the job descriptions are available, like I said, the full job descriptions are available from what the state requirements
From
are.
the state, yes. What one county may be different than another county's. Rural area to more metropolitan area would be a little bit different.
I mean, if you read over this letter, it basically states that that's pretty much their responsibilities now. The function and duty of the planning commission shall be to make and adopt an official general plan for the fiscal development of the county outside of municipal limits. The planning commission may from time to time extend to add to the plan or carry any part-time subject matter in greater detail. Let's see, I had a comment note in there somewhere, wasn't it? Okay. Count. Votes. Whatever that's in there.
Remember that new job, a new title put on the office? That changed. It's not there to do that. We are to overlook, not project manage each individual project that goes on for the county. And that is by private act, but we're not there to micromanage it or manage the whole job. We review it, give it our blessing or our downtime. So,
Well, anything else? Chris, or? I guess we'll have to turn it back over to you and you're the commission to send us another budget. I guess in 10 days, so we'll be ready by the 13th, we're saying? A full budget workshop, full
We
commission.
can't vote on the workshop, though.
I guess if we,
I mean, is that correct? We can't vote on the workshop.
No, and
well, I
you couldn't
guess.
present the full budget without having the planning commission part of it approved, I would imagine.
Really big.
Well, 10 days is actually, if you count 10 working business days, it's actually the 17th of June.
by the time I do my advertisement for a call meeting for the planning commission, that'll be the best we can do.
And that's the day of the full commission meeting.
The 17th, full commission.
And we can always schedule a budget meeting before the council meeting.
Yeah, well, I mean, would it have to go through budget or could it just, send straight on the full commission?
But have to go through budget, because budget has to vote to either send it back or accept it, or make other additional recommendations outside.
Well, we could always, set that date up for the budget meeting prior, come in at 5:30 or something like that to discuss it, vote on it, and then just move it to full commission if it, passes.
motion sends it back, 5:30 for the workshop.
Do that. A motion by Mr. Campbell to send the budget back to the planning department, and we schedule a meeting for June 17th at 5:30.
Our meeting will have to be scheduled for 3 Abby.
Okay.
Here's a second on that motion.
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Frazier. Discussion.
No. Say that again,
We'll have to do a call meeting
on the
This
17th,
on the 17th also, that's,
for planning, perhaps.
that'll be it. You guys meet at 5:30.
5:30.
You get the county court.
What happens if it doesn't pass at budget at 5:30?
And will having the budget at 5:30 after having planning at 3 give the finance department enough time to fix whatever changes they make and get it to you all?
Yeah, that's certainly tough, I know that.
The full, the full commission wasn't scheduled to vote on the budget at the June meeting, were they?
No.
Then you could have the budget committee on the 18th instead of trying to do it the night before the full commission, couldn't you?
Yeah, there's, other than the budget workshop that we had scheduled on the 13th, there was nothing, the budget workshop and the budget public hearing, there's nothing else that is impacted by that. The only thing is we have to, the 17th or 18th, after we get that, we just have to go ahead and schedule a public hearing, and then, we want to do that workshop, we schedule the date for the workshop.
I think the 18th, today and trying to cram all this in on the 17th.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little much on the finance department too.
Oh, I know that. Of course, I mean, we get something, they get something by 3:30, send it to
Yeah.
him, and we get it at 5 o'clock.
And then you're still doing your other daily duties that they have to do and trying to do all this, it's too much. I know what too much is a lot.
We're at the 18th of June for this meeting here, the budget committee, to vote on this revised budget for planning again then.
I'll make a friendly amendment to,
Yeah, we got a motion on the floor, so go ahead with your friend amendment.
So you're still gonna do planning on the 17th?
So we have 10 days to answer the budget committee.
yes,
Do you need 10 days, Chris? I'm not trying to be rude or,
Yeah, I have to do a public, I got
you get.
he's got to be a public hearing, so that takes that.
Yeah.
really, it should be 15 days, but to do it, it's going to be tight.
What I'm saying though is if you're gonna have planning on the 17th, then we'll send it to finance overnight for commission, and then have it ready by the next day. I mean, that's still pretty tight for me.
You said you should have
The next day.
I mean, that way we receive it by the afternoon, at least to have that evening.
To have by that
over it, before we meet at 6 o'clock,
So planning on the 17th at 3 o'clock.
Yes, ma'am.
But for now, we've got a motion on the floor by Mr. Campbell to send the budget back to planning and a 5:30 meeting for the 17th. So I did hear a friendly amendment was announced, but it's no details provided if you want.
I'd make a friendly amendment that we just push it forward to the next day on the 18th. And then do a regularly scheduled at 6.
Yeah, just like a meeting, just like this. That's fine.
Who was the second on that motion?
Mr. Frazier, he provided the friendly amendment as well to move it to the 18th, the regular scheduled budget meeting. Any discussion? Whenever you're ready, Daddy.
Willie Campbell,
Yes.
Patty Woodby,
Yes.
Ronnie Trivet,
Yes.
Isaiah Grindstaff,
Yes.
Ross Garland,
Yes.
Travis Hill,
Yes.
Aaron Frazier,
Yes.
Kelly Collins.
Yes.
8-0.
Motion carries. Thank you. Got the rest, you know what to do.
Well, you still didn't give me any guidance on what you want me to do.
Well, that's the, I don't really
The county
know.
commission voted to do this and put this additional duties. Financial management did the additional duties of EDC. So we need to, and that was pushed forward to the full commission, you guys voted on it. And an agreement was made during all this time, and we even came down lower than what we originally agreed at. And then the last thing was like I was going to be elected official, so Mr. McKay would be my assistant director, which would move him up into a management job with no, just like myself, no talk time. So you're sitting. And I've already proven that I'm handling all the jobs at once. I was here Saturday night, 10:30, to check the cameras, and taking care of business in our office. So just took care of that, fixed it up this morning, and that's about another $130,000 off tax rolls. So you do what you got to do. But it's totally up to you.
We know that, and you gotta come to some compromise. I can see that for sure. 141 Foreman, the revised budget 4764, would that be for Mr. McKay?
Yes, sir.
That
I'm
position?
certainly would, yes, sir.
And then if you're looking for part-time personnel as well, on that, like a grassland, is that what that?
That's the key. Right now, I've got an intern with UT, and I'm utilizing her. Today's her first day. She's having a little trouble with the language barrier, but she'll be okay. She's from Nigeria.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Not just yet.
I mean, it's just like today, I found out some federal grant, and you guys will cover Mr. Caldwell this summer, getting lined up for next year. All these roads that go into the national forest and stuff, money he's gonna be able to pick up to do the jobs, or, I mean, there's,
Yeah, I understand. I know you're working hard and asking
But it-
probably more than what's required of you really, but,
always have, and more than once.
we appreciate that. All of you. And, you know, Mel's done a fantastic job with inspections, you know, he's qualified there, got certifications, and we're bringing in a whole lot more money.
Jay's taking his test after July, the new budget, or actually, he's gonna take it in June. He can get it in.
Who, Jay, you said?
Yeah, he'll be doing plumbing inspection. Kristen's already got her phase one, her certification, TDAC, so we're all moving ahead.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate that, or we won't make you too mad, run everybody off over there, but,
Chris, on 189,
Sir, I'm sorry, I can't hardly hear you.
on that other, 189,
Hold on just a second, let me get my glasses on.
says the other salaries and wages.
Just one second. Yeah, that's my two full-time people.
as in Jay and Diane, or?
No, Jay and Kristen.
Okay.
So you're looking at a $7,000 increase, is that what you're saying?
Sir?
You're saying a $7,000 increase on each one of them?
No. No. Going from 24.5 to, oh, you must be reading off the back page.
I heard you say
Yeah. Split by, keep 26,000, 26.5.
That's
pretty close to what the 3% is, Harold, right, not much.
Yeah.
And as far as for question for Brad, the numbers that were presented, I know you highlighted some changes in there. Are those corrected down there at the bottom? Is that what that is?
They're addressed at the bottom.
So I mean, they should actually reflect these numbers at the bottom, that'd be more accurate.
Right,
Say,
they would be correct numbers.
I know we've changed it around and printed me out so much by myself, I'm kind of lost on it now, except for what I've got on my.
And of course, how many of your employees have health insurance?
I think Mel's probably one of the ones that's in patient treatment.
So how,
Sorry,
how many of that would that be?
that would be, besides myself, would be 3 additional employees right now. That's be right.
The reason I'm asking is so we can get a correct figure for the health insurance for next year. Because what the amount that's in there now is almost health insurance for 8 employees.
Yeah, I always wondered about that,
Well, it was, before it was correct. As far as what we had discussed, then I'm going to take the insurance. Which was 32,043.17.
yeah, now that 56,861, I'm not real sure about where it came from. How it was in place.
Talking about line 207?
Yeah.
That place was $11,000 increase on.
This is not correct.
Then 56 would be for 8 employees with insurance. I'm thinking there's, well, my last understanding was 4 or 5, which one? Annual cost of 790, that would be about 4 people with insurance, 32,000.
That would be right on that for Ryan.
Well,
So this won't be an increase. For
We'll juggle that there.
818 should be subtracted.
well, not completely, I don't think.
It'd be 32,043 and 17.
Okay, well, so yeah, and that, of course, that can be confirmed and verified before you send it to Brad, so you guys work that out, I'll make sure those numbers are accurate. But you asked, what we want from you, I don't know, honestly, what to tell you to do. And lower the numbers is what I guess, what it's gonna take, obviously, but, I just, I don't feel that's fair to, what we're trying to accomplish over there and the duties we're putting on you, so I really don't know what to recommend.
Well, also, it's just not right, because in all the respect to Chris and his office, I think they do a great job. But he's not the only office in the county that does a great job. And all due respect to that office, it's not fair to put them under different budget rules, and all the other county offices have people doing a job that we know nothing about. And until everybody on this committee goes to each one of these offices and reviews their jobs and sees what they're actually doing, I really don't think we can assess this correctly. It's just not right.
I agree, but I also think those elected officials should be up here fighting for their employees, if that's the case. And I haven't seen a whole lot of that.
And what I
Because
listen
I do
to,
think you are so. But, see,
I guess, this budget operates a little bit different as far as, the private acting and your planning commission, so it is a little separate from regular county offices, but
So we are a fee office. We receive those.
Do what?
We are a fee office.
Just like Mary's.
Trustee.
fee office.
Brad, how far can you go back on the fee offices at the planning commission, how much they've turned in? How far can you go back?
Probably the 15, 16.
Just that far back?
I can tell you their commissions,
Huh?
each office's commissions, fees in lieu of salary.
Was, I mean, Chris, what we used to give, I guess the guy that came from Knoxville on these inspections, and what kind of money did we give them on it, or not give them, but did they take from us, really?
Every inspection, he was getting $100.
Yeah.
As of right now, we're at about 110,000 for last year, and we're gonna get probably with about 135,000 more for this fiscal year.
And that was money that was going out of here.
That's increases in
State
permits.
of Tennessee.
And that's as opposed to the other offices that people that come in, pay their tax bill or something else. We give them a service for our money. We go out and we do inspections.
And we control the unfunded mandates from the state of Tennessee and federal government office.
And that's a certification required, but, I'm licensed by the state of Tennessee as building inspector. I can go to any county in the state of Tennessee and be their building inspector.
Not a threat.
No, that's,
Just kidding. I'm trying to.
that's what my license says. I'm a state certified building inspector.
But, I don't know, that's my problem, but I don't understand, we want to put this stuff in their office, but provide no compensation for these two, that's where I can't.
I don't think the issue is providing no
I don't think that's the
compensation. I think it's just taking a very large chunk of compensation at one time.
Yeah.
Do you have any suggestions?
I make my suggestions during some of the last meetings, and I was told we couldn't make suggestions and send one before the planning commission for recommendations, so
Well, I'm in to see that,
I said a bunch of things last time. I'm good. Once again, we were told we couldn't make suggestions or recommendations. So, if it's a yes or no vote on it.
I think it was a yes or no on the budget, as far as sending back recommendations, it's two different issues.
That's what
They
we,
recommendations are
that's what,
using the money.
that's what we were attempting to do whenever we were looking at that, we voted no. We were told it was a yes or no vote on it. So I've made my recommendation.
Well, again, I think it was a yes or no vote on the budget, but as far as sending back suggestions, I think that was not the same.
I think that's what Chris is asking, suggestions from us, to be open on what they would like to see us, or them do, what we kind of prefer them to do, or the numbers that we're looking at. I mean, we can't change their budgets or change these lines around, it's just a yes or no, we know that. But I think, have heard Chris a little bit, that maybe the compensation is too high for those certain positions. I do hear that. It sounds like to me. I guess we can do our own research, in that time. Compare the counties, look at their directors or their duties, things like that. And see what their compensation is. Anybody got anything else for Mr. Schuler? Any other comments?
Just real quick, Mr. Chairman. The meeting on the 10th, our regular scheduled budget meeting, I'll actually be out of the state attending a conference. I've asked Austin James to step in and be in my seat if that'll be okay.
Yeah, that's fine, just getting the appropriate, budget, the package, everything like that, sure.
That's a regular.
Yeah, that's county Monday, it's regular.
Yeah, that's great. All right.
And then, of course,
Public hearing is canceled.
we got to conduct public hearing, that's something that we can't address.
That was before.
The 10th, yes, so that,
Still meeting, just don't have to have a hearing.
regular, just regular budget stuff there. June 13th, budget workshop, full commission. Yeah. 6 o'clock, yeah. The 17th, we decided to, no, that's full commission right there. On the 17th. Planning 3. And then June 18th will be the budget meeting, and we'll vote on the planning department's revised budget.
And that's at 6.
6 o'clock. Everybody have that, work on their calendar.
Workshop is the 13th.
What was the other one? 3 o'clock, what was it?
The 3 o'clock, that's planning, is going to be the same day as commission, the 17th. So we won't have an early meeting, just the next night, that Tuesday, 6 p.m.
And we're rescheduling the workshop, correct?
No, workshop.
So go.
Yeah, just leave that as is. And, of course, it'd be a great time to discuss this, maybe we'll have certain exact figures, or at least get some ideas. I don't know, Chris, if that's. Right, what I'm saying, if we could at least discuss that, and we maybe not have, exact hard numbers, but, look at original and what's been proposed, and, just talk it out. And you may have some representation there to kind of hear what's, they to talk about. All right, everybody good on dates? Counter look okay? I would like to, Dr. Ed sent out, Brad and I an email today, and I just briefly got to look over that. Dr. Ed didn't get too much. I didn't, I couldn't come up with too many good answers. I think Brad had read on it and thought about it. I don't know if you want to address us or Brad, or kind of talk about that right now while we got the opportunity. That's something I'll be looking for.
I can do that. The email essentially said I was concerned, one, about the budget, considering the fact that if you look around us, Johnson City is struggling, revenues are flat. Washington County, the same thing. I talked with City Manager Estes. Even, as I'm sure Commissioner Hill will tell you, they have been toying a 6-cent increase because their revenues are flat. I talked with a number of bankers in the region, and they are projecting flat or less than in a negative. So my concern as being a conservative fiscal entity, individual, that we're not putting ourselves out there that is going to cause us some difficulty towards the end of the budget year. I'm also concerned that we're not looking at the entire fiscal picture. As you know, we have a number of projects, renovations, as well as build-outs that are occurring. We have no capital outlay reserve funds. All of those funds, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Burke, all those funds come out of our general fund. There are some setbacks. But if we're going to look at going forward with actually doing more construction, more renovation, we need to reserve those funds in a capital outlay reserve account and have a at least a 5-year outlook and prioritize those projects. So I don't think we, in my opinion, I don't have the full fiscal picture in regards to what's happening in our region and what's happening in this particular county. I just want to be very cautious in moving forward. This isn't a criticism of the finance department or of this committee, but I do think there are a number of commissioners out there that are going to struggle with the issue of projections, estimates. Yes, many people do those. We need to know where those figures are coming from. There were 2 items in there that I asked Mr. Gardner to address. One is the issue of other governments and citizens, as well as, my glasses on.
Any of the summary totals on any of these statements are backed up with the detailed schedules, whether it's revenue or expenditures. They all tie, the amounts tie. All you have to do is look back at the detailed statements. If necessary, I can put page numbers on these summary statements to reference them back to the page number of the detailed revenues or expenditures where we're at. I mean, this budget was prepared with a lot of hard work and a lot of thought. It's definitely not a haphazard budget. As far as the revenues are flat when you compare them to what is actually getting coming in. And I've stressed it, more than once, that we can't rely on last year's budget numbers. Those are no good. For the most part, they're no good. They're bogus. We have to, going forward, we have to use some actual amounts. Work from those, which is what I did. I went back to 16, 17, 17, 18, estimated for 18, 19. I didn't just pull those out of my, you know what. I took the actual figures through February, March, estimated the remainder of the year based on the last year's, based on anything else that I knew about that might change. And those are good numbers. They're not low. They're more realistic by far than they have been. I think if we got the revenues coming in, we need to budget it. And nothing is budgeted over, I don't believe, what will actually come in. But the budget is an estimate, it's a plan. Nobody knows for sure.
Well, I'll tell you, it's wrong today, it's fast, it'll be wrong. They're all there.
Well, as I said, this is a criticism of perhaps what you've done at all. I think where the disconnect is what is underneath each of those lines and how we come up with those figures. Because I think I understand it. Not completely, maybe not as well as some of you who have sat through it. I've only missed one workshop or budget meeting. But I do think every commissioner should be able to sit down with a constituent or a room full of constituents and tell them where these numbers are.
I agree. That's why all that information is in there. I don't expect everybody just to be able to look at us and say, yeah, this is here, this is there. And that's why I'm looking forward to the budget workshop, because I want to help.
Yeah, I know you do. And as I said, it's not a criticism, but I think the disconnect is understanding where those numbers come from. And we have a few folks that are really struggling with where we came up with this.
And, once again, for this year, we need to get away from comparing to last year's budget, because those numbers are no good. For the most part, they're no good. We can look at the estimate for this year, the actual for 17, 18, and 16, 17.
Well, and I think that's appropriate, but if you look at the CTAS documents, which I'm sure you have, there's always that idea of looking at previous budgets. And so that's something that we have done on this commission. This is a little change for us. And I just want to make sure it's that my criticism of you, I'm looking at our region and what's occurring. We all need to know where these numbers are coming from, what you're about.
And I will point out any detail on any number. Now, I know those numbers, and over and over, tweaked them, and didn't just fluff up the revenues just to balance the budget. They're realistic and they are flat. Some budgeted for 1920 are less than 18, 19, 17, 18. None of them have been inflated. Just
Well, and we know we've increased the outside funding, of course, 3.5%. Yes, we're going to save, depending on what plan, insurance plan people pick, we're going to save some, even if everybody went with last year's plan with the 70% co-insurance.
Yeah, that will be where 10% savings will come from if everybody goes on the same plan they were last year. So that's the minimum savings is 10%.
Yeah, I agree.
Would probably be more.
Oh, it is.
But that 10% has been factored into the appropriations for medical insurance. A minimum of 10%. Could be more, like you said, I hope it is.
Well, and I hope that, that I'm not, as I said, I didn't mean to point fingers, but I do want us to understand specifically what's happening.
I would, express to you and everybody else, I throw out the invitation about every time, if you'll just go and talk to me. Say both of us at one time.
Because sometimes I don't have that luxury, so I send you things. We have to come, that's fine.
That way we can look over the same thing and talk about it and be on the same page. That's my goal.
I appreciate it.
Brad, is the auditor here now?
No, we've been gone for a couple of days.
Huh?
I've been gone for a couple of days.
Those deficiencies that they wrote us up last year, we corrected a lot of those. Okay.
Yeah.
You done a good job.
It's the whole office. Very good staff, hard-working staff.
Well, I just want to say, I think you guys have done a great job. And I've been working for the county for 10 plus years, and I've been doing budget for the clerk's office, so that's my fix. So I understand budgets, I understand where the money's coming from, I know all about the trustee's office, I know about the assessor's office, I know. And what Brad is doing, and what he did this time at the office, is breaking those line items down, I think that's great. That's how we were able to find money, that's how we were able to see where money's coming and going. I think that's the best, one of the best things that's happened since I've been seeing a budget, since I've been doing it. I think that was great.
He's done great. He had any help from Michael.
Travis, with the city insurance. Well, this was one of their, their 6 cents or maybe their insurance. So they go through what we did. I think they're maybe going to do something like that next year.
Yeah.
If I understand correctly.
I think Julia will probably get a phone call from the city of Elizabeth.
I was also going to say, they are having, I think the open enrollment, or at least workshop sessions are coming up. Is that this week or?
It will be Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then the next week, there's going to be a few days of one-on-one meetings with the employees to actually sign them up and go over their choices with them before they sign their paperwork.
Yeah, I mean, if we as commissioners were, of course, our employees, but if someone's available to sit down in those meetings, at least get an idea of what this insurance or what they can provide for us would help answer some questions too in the future.
We had 49,000 there for Elizabeth Fire Department. We voted it down. Listen, if you look at the budget we got, 15% of our budget goes to Elizabeth City School Department, 15% of our budget. Okay, the rescue squad, we pay them. And 80% of their work is in the city of Elizabeth.
Where did you come up with 80%?
Huh?
Where did you come up with 80%?
All these nursing homes. You just look. The nursing homes.
They still pay.
Yeah, they still pay. But I'm talking about how much
How
we're
many of
paying.
those nursing homes do you think have some county residents living in them?
Huh?
How many of those nursing homes do you think have county residents living in them?
In the nursing home?
That came from the county and moved in?
In the nursing home. Yeah, but their insurance pays for it.
Not all of them.
Big part of it. And then we support senior citizens, support the park and rec.
And
So,
60% of senior citizens comes from the county.
Huh?
60% of the senior citizens are county people.
Yeah, I know.
So we should be paid,
And
just like the Boys and Girls Club. It's a huge amount there of county kids that are picked up every
And
day in county schools.
every time we build a school, it's just the school department budget, we have to give them a third of it.
They're paying county taxes.
Huh?
They're paying county
I
taxes.
know they're paying county taxes.
I am.
That's tough. I do think after, city gets their budget approved, we do that, we can, August, September, we sit down with our finance departments, directors, attorneys, whatever, mayors, city managers, and really, take a hard look at these figures, okay? The percentages, 60%, 40%, whatever, county, city, that to me is, maybe you can come up with a number from that. See if we're putting so much collectively in there, okay, we've got 60% of these people are county, maybe we need to make up for that percentage of it. So that's something that needs to be discussed.
In 1995, I was on the committee to start investigating the metropolitan government, okay? There was a committee of us, we met with the city, and they didn't want nothing to do with it. We even talked about putting hospital, the old hospital, putting office spaces in there in the old hospital that would have lasted for 50 years. They said, no, we're going to put the city hall in town. If you look lately, town is down that end.
That's, hopefully we can work together as, two separate entities. I don't think that the idea is to do any kind of combination government or anything, but at least see what we're doing on our end, see what they're doing, and see if we need to start increasing, decreasing, whatever, kind of get.
We need to work with the city, I agree with that, but must be reasonable.
Yeah, we'd be reasonable, just go in with an open mind, just see.
It's like everything else. You have to have a number, the library comes in, the library says, hey, we need to be X number dollars, city pays this number. We as a county know, and we need to tell our citizens, look, this is the contribution amount that, as long as their budget stays this number or around this number, this is the contribution amount that we need to get to. Then we need to do the same though for anything that we can do. I agree with Dr. Ray. That's one of the big things that we voted on last year, before last, about any monies that come in at the end of the fiscal year, half of that goes to general fund, half of that goes to a capital outlay, or for capital projects, capital expenditures. I'm a big fan of that because before then, other than courtroom security or non-courtroom security, litigation monies and some other smaller funds, we had no monies to maintain the courthouse or to do work at Folsom or to do work at Chris's office or anywhere else. And so that's a big component. But, we just need to set some numbers. Same thing with the offices. We need to set some funding where we want to be at as far as what we want to pay our people. Johnson City, I think they're having, 4% pay.
Brad, how much money have we got in the archives where they're going to try to set up archives in that,
I think it's like 260.
260,000? Now that's something you're going to have to look at down the road. You get too many records. Isaiah knows that too. And the sheriff's department over there, the old building, what's been done over there?
Right now, they're waiting on some more information to start deconstruction. They're actually can do deconstruction and really just kind of waiting for summer. This has come up once before about, we're getting way off topic budget-wise, this is what we need to call for. As far as, looking at the upstairs for that whole building as a records management place, place to store archive records, things of that nature, you don't have a big enough parking space over there for the location that you have, unless only if you start adding add more services to that one building.
I was on the corrections committee one time. You're gonna have a building that's out, you gotta have a parking space, and it's gotta be fireproof, everything. It takes a lot of stuff to it.
Well, you gotta make it.
But that's something you're gonna have to do is speak directors. They're running over. And something else I'm gonna mention while I'm here. When the emergency management moves up to 911 building, you need to think about moving Melissa up there where that safe is and upstairs and give her some room because she's busted at the seams. So you need to look at that.
I think they all are.
I would say, yeah, I think in several
We
years that
are
we've had, we're all busted at the seams.
Yeah.
The circuit court clerk's office actually
We
has
are-
records in the
right now,
storage building where the lawnmower is.
Just this week, we had to get into the basement of a building where some of ours are at, and,
Well, they some of you're in
that's where they store
probation
the
office.
lawnmowers.
They some
And there,
down,
it's crickets and spiders and everything down there, we have seen employees down there to dig.
they some down at the 911.
Draw straws.
Yeah, you got to do it like it wants to go.
See, if you got that records committee, they just so much stuff that you can destroy. And you have to go over it with them, and they have to sign off on it. And a lot of those records can be destroyed.
A lot of our stuff has to be approved by the judges, though.
Yeah, I know. That's why I say, everybody has to get on the right page. And a lot of these records can be destroyed.
Or digitized.
All right.
On a different note, Brad, can I get sometime, when you have free time, in the next couple of months, not right, what the city residents pay and property tax?
Travis.
Can you divide it, city total amount and county total amount?
So they inside the city, county property tax for the people inside the city. Probably get that from the trustee.
They mentioned that, I think the 6% or 6 cent tax increase, I spoke to one of their council members, I think their penny is around $27,000.
25.
Something, 25. So you're looking, that's, you know, big difference, 85 or 84, you know what you're talking about. But still,
They've got 2 or 3 projects over there going. The police department, they're moving in, and then they're thinking about going in with us on this Gap Creek thing. That's another project, but it's on down the road. That's about the 4th or 5th on the list.
yeah, I know the covered bridges, I think that's gonna look straight.
We gotta save that covered bridge. Because my cousins, they'll build that.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Pretty good. All right, anything else we can, I guess wrap this thing up, just, you know, if you got some research you wanna do on your own, you can look at around the comparable losses or whatever, maybe get some numbers in your mind, just to bring to the next meeting, you know, for this fire department. Something to consider. They have anything else?
I make a motion, Major.
Motion by Mr. Trivis, second by Isaiah Travis. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Be good, sure.